Welcome back to the Redneck Garage YouTube channel. Today we are doing a full maintenance video on a UForce 1000. For those of you that stopped in thinking you're going to see the valves, we're not going to do the valves on this one today, maybe on a later date. This one we're going to change the front and rear differential fluids. That's going to be this total high perf gear oil. We're going to change the engine oil and the transmission oil. That's what these quarts are for here, along with a CFMOTO oil filter installed. Now those of you who are wondering what oil should you run in your CFMOTO, this is CFMOTO oil. This is CFMOTO branded oil, and it's good stuff. So we're going to use it here on the channel. We also have our filter kit, our air filter, Uni Air Filter kit. All of this stuff can be found at Main Street Cycle. So you're going to get the Uni filter install, and we're going to show you how to oil it and all of that stuff. And it does come with the outerwears. Right there you go. So without further ado, let's get started. Before we do, I'd like to invite you to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Go ahead and give this video a share for all your friends and your groups and all of that to see. Let's get started. But we are also going to be installing a light bar, and we have pod lights that we're going to install back here for his reverse lights. All right guys, so what we did here was took the bed off. That way you could see exactly what we was doing around that bed. It is not a necessity to pull it off, but for our purpose of videoing, it's definitely a good idea. So we're gonna start with the diff fluid, then the engine, transmission, and the front diff. We're just gonna go through the whole machine and drain all the fluids. So let's get started doing that. All right guys, so you're gonna want a T50 to get up in here to your diff fluid oil drain. Once you get it there, you're gonna wanna be careful when it comes out, because it's gonna have copper washer or a washer on there you don't wanna lose. Look at that, that's clean. He's doing preventative maintenance. This is his first service. So we'll just go ahead and let that drain. And once this drains, we're gonna move along to the oil drain plugs on the engine and then the front diff. Okay guys, so you're gonna wanna grab a 17mm wrench so we can drain the transmission fluid. And you'll see it's a big bolt with a copper washer on it. Can't miss it. It's kind of hard to get the camera in, but otherwise you can't miss it. Look at that tranny fluid, baby. We're gonna let that drain, and I'm going to, at the end of the video, I'm gonna have all the fluid capacities for you to use on your machine. So you don't get confused, I'm just gonna have it all labeled out at the end of the video for you to use for all the capacities across the whole diffs and the engine and the trans. And then once it's drained, we'll be back. We'll drain this fluid up here for the engine oil. All right guys, you're gonna wanna get yourself a 19mm socket for the engine oil, and you're gonna stick it up in here. You're going to loosen it up. I already loosened it up for camera's sake to save time. Then we're going to come up in here like so. We're going to take it out and let oil drain all over our hand like so. Maybe. How long is that thing? And guess what I just lost in the oil bucket?
The copper washer.
The copper washer. So now I got to go dig for it. Or I go in there and get a new one because I got new ones. So we're going to let this drain. And then we'll be right back when we get to the diff. The front diff, which is the last one to drain. Alright guys. So the front diff, same thing. T50 is literally right under here. There's a hole in the skid plate. Just like so. Get it loose. Let it drain, baby. Okay, guys. So I wanted to cover this since this is the last diff. We got everything draining. I wanted to cover this silver sparkly stuff that you'll see caked on your drain plug. Drain plug is a magnet, and it will pick up metals that will stick to a magnet. And this is what's going to be on it. Some of those chunks are going to be a little bigger. Some of them are going to be real fine and just look like dust. This stuff is normal. Even that piece right there where it's a little bit of a bigger piece, that stuff is normal. And you will probably see this for a good 3 or 4 changes. And then through the life of the differential, you'll keep seeing a little bit of it. It'll just be fine stuff like that. Okay? So let's get into cleaning up my mess. And then we'll see you back at the engine when it's time to start filling these things. Alright guys. So now we got all the fluids drained. We had to push it in here because it started raining. Just lucky enough, my buddy Nick stopped in. He helped us push it in here without any issues. So let's get this total high perf CFMOTO oil. It does say CFMOTO on the back. You can pick this up at Main Street Cycle. Let's go ahead and get this installed. So, yeah, installed. Let's get it installed. So, your oil dipstick is going to be the one closest to the rear tire on the passenger side. Going to want to pull that out. I'm going to want to put a funnel in that fits. Now, CFMOTO does come with funnels. No offense, CFMOTO, they suck. So, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and pour it in here. Now, guys, just a reminder, I will have all of the specs for the oil capacities, the diff capacities, all at the end of this video. I'll point them all out and go over them with you. That way you do not get confused. We're going to go ahead and get our quarts put in here. And then we'll be right back to go ahead and do the transmission. Alright, so we got all of our oil in there. Now we're going to pull this out, lay this up here. I'm going to wipe this off, wipe that off, get it down in here. We're going to check it. Look at us, right on that line, baby. Right on that line. We good and full, baby. We good and full. We're going to tighten her up in there. Now we're going to move to the rear transmission. All right, guys. Now we're moving along to our transmission fluid. This is that Total Traxium Dual 9 FE 75W90. This is API GL4, GL5, and API MT-1 compatible. Again, you can find this Main Street Cycle. Now, what we did was we pulled the dipstick out down there, and we put the filter down there. And what I'm gonna try to do, CFMOTO, I don't like this. Get rid of this crap. Please, get rid of this nonsense. So now what we're gonna try to do is use a funnel here. And then we're gonna just pour it slow, nice and slow.
Yeah,
Is it going in?
Yep.
Without making a mess? Look at that. Mess free. I like that. Let it go down. Just feed it slow. Keep an eye on your bottle, how much you're using. We got a little bit left to go. All right. Go ahead and wipe that off. Stick it inside that funnel. Grab this. Wipe it off. Or go ahead and check it and get it down in here. And we are right on the dot. Right on the dot there, guys. We are good to go. All right, guys. I couldn't get it on video, but if you look down here to the battery, you'll see, if I can get my hand down in there, well, right there is your oil filter housing. It's got 3 bolts that holds it on. It's super easy, guys. Listen, I can't video this because it's so tight down in there. I could take this plastic off, but I'm not doing all that. I got a lot to do today. So I'm just going to tell you how to do it. It's right there. It's got 3 bolts on it. You pull them bolts and the filter comes out. You slide your new filter in, put those bolts back on, inspect your O-ring and stuff like that. So we've already did that, but it's hard to get on camera. Let me see if I can shoot it down. Yeah, you can't even, right there, you can barely see it. But you get the drift. It's super easy, guys. Don't be discouraged. All right, let's move on to the Uni Air Filter. Let's do that. Okay, guys. In this part of the video, we're going to cover the Uni filter because a Uni filter is a must-have filter. That should be the very first thing that you ever do when you get your CFMOTO, because the CFMOTO paper filter lets dirt past it. And I have seen it claim lots and lots of engines. I hope nobody gets mad at me saying that, but we do speak the truth here on the Redneck Garage YouTube channel. Not talking down on CFMOTO by any means whatsoever. It's just paper filters are no good for off-road use. In your car, on the road, they're fine. I know a lot of machines use paper filters, and it's okay if they got good pre-filters. The UForce here, these pre-filters do catch a lot of stuff, and it is fine for the most part. But if you're, I should restate this, if you're in a real dusty environment, muddy, dirty, just dusty environment, you should always get your Uni Air Filter first before you ever hit the trails. Listen, guys, in my experience, this thing right here could save you thousands of dollars. And not only that, but this filter here is serviceable for up to 5 years, or I should say, it's guaranteed to 5 years. Not up to. We all know what that up to word means. This thing is guaranteed for 5 years. Uni, last time I knew, they will warranty this for 5 years. I have Uni filters that are way older than 5 years. I never had one go bad. If you properly maintain them, they won't dry out and break down. Like they do break down from day one. Every piece of material does. But you maintain them, they're fine. So it's going to save you money in the long run by getting one of these. And you can pick yours up at www.mainstreetcycle.com. Make sure you let them know Redneck Garage sent you when you get the chance. Alright guys, so you're going to want to pop these tabs off right here, like so. Pull that out. And you're going to want a flathead screwdriver. Can you see down in here, Ronnie? Oh, get that right. Right there, you're going to want to get a flathead screwdriver. pull this filter out. This filter is like brand new, but I don't feel bad one so bit about it. Okay, you're gonna want to go ahead and pull that out. Throw that thing in the trash because that's where it belongs. Now, what you're gonna want to do is pull this Uni filter apart. Be careful, don't tear it, don't rip it, don't stretch it. Just work it off of here like that, like so, and it will come right off real nice and evenly. Then what you're going to want to do, this is air filter cleaner. You'll use this first if your filter is not new, but our filter is new. We don't need to clean it. You're going to want to shake this very, very, very well. I've seen a lot of people spray this on the inside. You do not, absolutely do not, under any circumstances, spray this on the inside of the filter. Never, ever, ever. I've seen countless people do it. Do not do it. That's not how you do it. Okay? All right, we got it shook up. Gonna want to get a good coat on this filter here. Overlap your sprays, just like so. Don't get any on the rubber, like where it clamps to. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to just rub this in. That's all you want to do is rub it in. Just like so. Just squeeze it, rub it. Don't twist it. Just rub it in. That's all you got to do. Rub it in, and then it'll get tacky all on its own. What do you think, Ronnie? Think it's rubbed in? Think it's rubbed in real nice? Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead, set that down there. Hopefully it don't roll off. There we go. Now we want to get this. We're going to spray this real well, real good. All right, now we got that. Now we're going to take both our gloves, and this one we want to rub it in just like so. Rub it in just like so. Okay, squeeze it. Don't twist it. Do not twist it. Just squeeze it. Rub it in.
Just like kneading it.
Just like kneading it, kneading dough. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna take it, we're gonna get it back over this filter, back in business, all the while trying not to get oil where the clamp is. Just work it, don't pull it, don't tear it, just work it on there. Pull the slack out of it, just like so. And that lip. Okay. worked on there, just like so. We're gonna go ahead and lay this back down. And you're gonna wanna grab your outerwears, pre-filter sock. This is a necessity, guys. A necessity. I'm gonna set that there. Just work this on here. This can be a little tricky, especially because of the oil. Not bad though. Totally worth it. And a lot of times you only have to take this off and clean this and not the whole filter, so it saves you money. Money savings. Get that on there, okay? All right, there we go. Now we're gonna go ahead, slip this on. Just like, you know what? I think I gotta back that off. They squeezed it a little too tight on me. Remember, we did all this without getting oil on that boot on the inside. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten her up. And this is another thing, you don't want to over tighten this. Just snug it. Just snug it. It ain't coming off. Now we're gonna throw these off. We're gonna want to get this. Put this back on, just like so. A little bit of a tight fit. There we go. There we go. Nice and tight on there, fellas, ladies and gents. And there we go. Now we have to move on to the Diff Fluids. Let's go ahead and do that. Damn. All right, guys. So for the rear diffs, you're going to want to get the Total High Perf Gear Oil 80W90. You can find this at Main Street Cycle. Now, the diffs, you're going to have to get a little creative. I got a funnel here on a hose. The hose runs down in, and then the funnel right here. Let's try and do this without making a mess. Think we can do it without making a mess? All right, guys, you're going to want to painfully do that slowly. We're not going to waste your time. We'll see you on the front diff. All right, guys, a little bit dark, but same concept up here up front. Super easy to do. Really get that drain plug out of there. Set it down here. Grab that. And get it shoved in that hole. So, you know what I might do? Right like that. I'll just hold it, I guess. It's gonna be slow. Oop. Got it all over my hand. Of course I did. She's ready for a bit more, ain't she? Alright guys, we're not going to bore you with this part either. This is going to be slow, but you get the gist of it anyway. And we'll be right back. Okay guys, so that's how you do a service on a UForce 1000 aside from the valves. We're not doing the valves today because he didn't want to get those done. So we're not going to do them, but we'll find somebody in the future that does want to get them done so I can video them. However, it's going to be the same identical way, only a little bit easier on the UForce, especially if you get that bed out of your way, which is super easy to do, as you do them on the 800. And I do have a video there showing you all the specs, the plugs, everything is going to be the same because CFMOTO basically uses the same top ends on these motors. So that's a plus. I already have a video on it.